This is a very exciting episode because this week we get to see what the interior of the boat is going to look like when it's finished. My name is Matt. Follow along as I turn Duracell, the legendary ocean racing sailboat, into a comfortable cruising home. So before we get into the interior of the boat, we have to give credit where credit is due. The last boat that we had, Louise, Yanni and I lived on for 5 years, and we cruised it many thousands of miles, and we really loved the interior of that boat. That boat was designed and built by a really good friend of mine, Al Hughes, and we liked it so much that we decided to use that same basic design for the interior of Duracell. So that's where most of the ideas have come from. We're just blowing it up because the boat's 20 feet longer.
I'm going to butt in to say that Matt has been working on the design of Duracell since the day he discovered John's post, a full 2 years before Duracell landed in our yard. He started out designing on paper, then learned to use computer-aided design, or CAD. While I don't typically pick up my camera during these times, many hours are spent on design. It's a big part of this project.
Are you CADing or catting?
This is Matt's design for the interior, which Markos used to make 3D drawings.
Last spring, Markos, who is a naval architect, he watches the channel, he really likes our project, got in touch with us and asked if he could help us draw the boat in CAD, make a 3D model of the boat. And so we took him up on his offer, and he drew the exterior of the boat, drew up the cockpit, and was helpful in some design decisions that we were making. Then this past fall, he asked if he could draw the interior of the boat for us. And so we're really excited to show you what he's been working on, and I'm very excited to hear his comments on my design for the interior of the boat. Welcome, Markos. We're so happy to see you again. It's been too long.
How are you? How's it going? Happy
Great.
New Year.
Would you mind telling people what your background is, what you do for a living?
Yes, first of all, I'm thrilled to have an interview again and going through the boat again. It's going to be very interesting for people to see what we did so far. So my background, I have a few years as a professional naval architect right now. I studied in Glasgow. I'm from Greece, obviously. Did my bachelor's and my master's degree over there. I have been working through my father's company for many, many years, and I was getting a lot of experience when it comes to the commercial vessels. And I wanted to move myself to the yachting industry as well. So I started implementing new tools into the company. I was researching to find clients and everything. So yeah, everything started to go well. Do you want to start going through the boat?
Yes, we'd love to see it.
So inside the Doghouse, your plan was to make like 2 benches, left and right, comfortable sitting when the weather is rough, so you can be under shelter. You can warm it up as well by
Yes.
closing the door. So pretty straightforward, simple, elegant, ergonomic. It works.
Yes, exactly. And the benches are long enough that people can sleep on them while on watch or like while off watch, but high enough that you can see out above the water. And I'm even thinking that we would like to put, like you have in the cockpit, there's the handrail that might be able to store a foldable table, something very similar to that where we can even eat dinner and stuff up there in the cockpit. So yeah, that looks exactly how we were hoping.
As you go down, you reach yourself to a island and an L-shaped galley, which are all together in a raised floor compared to the rest of the vessel. And as you told me, you wanted to do this in order to accommodate all the piping, all the plumbing underneath the floor over there.
Yes, exactly. It's to hold for systems, plumbing specifically, because there's going to be a lot of plumbing between the ballast tanks. And also it kind of like lets you see as you're standing there, you'll be a little bit closer to being able to see out the windows of the doghouse. I don't think it'll be that high, but pretty close. And I think as my measurements go, it will make the counters a little bit higher, which will be level with the tops of the tanks. And so the tops of the tanks will just basically become the counters.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it worked out for me.
Yeah, that's going to be very helpful for you. And the good thing here is that the raised floor, since you have a racing vessel, you don't have a lot of room in order to play with the height. So you're not going to have a lot of headroom if you keep a consistent raised deck to the whole boat. So having a raised floor directly underneath the doghouse, the doghouse gives you this extra headroom that you want.
Yep.
In order to not feel claustrophobic or it doesn't feel like tight.
Totally.
So having a step next to the galley to go down and continue as the floor is supposed to be, it's going to be perfect for you. It's going to work perfect.
Awesome. Do you have any comments or suggestions about the design of that?
Actually, the way you presented to me how you think of designing a galley area, I think it's perfect because you create a loop so you can walk around freely, and you actually have the island in the middle where you can have huge storage over there. You can even have like a freezer, top load refrigerator, whatever you want in the middle. It's a place also to grab yourself, because most of the issues right now to the monohulls, because of the heeling angles, is you don't have places to grab yourself. So having this berth in the middle directly, as soon as you go down opposite the stairs, I think it's going to work perfectly for what you're trying to achieve. So captain's desk and a hanging locker, it was a really good choice on that side. You see, I left also some opening space under here so you can put like a drawer or something.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, it's gonna work really nice. It's in a good height, so you can have a visual outside of any window. So yeah, you have a good visibility. As I said, it's a nice place to sit. You can either put this extra little piece on the side that keeps you inside the seat when the boat is heeling. If you want to do, like, you can have it over here underneath the pillow.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, and the plan is also so you have the hanging locker aft, and that's probably where I'll put the switch panel on the seat back there, basically. And so have it recessed into that cabinet, and then everything will be accessible behind in that hanging locker, basically. It probably won't actually be a hanging locker, it'll be more access to all the systems that are installed back there.
On the aft, pretty straightforward. We have two berths, two separate cabins. Hanging lockers inside. That's pretty straightforward compared to the interior layout of the vessels today. I assume you're going to use this as guest cabins or storage.
Yeah, and actually that starboard side one, the one that's on the left now, will be those. I'm planning on that one being bunks instead of one double bed. It'll be like seabirds.
Yeah, easier access, better walking inside the cabin. I mean, it's completely up to you.
Yeah,
believe me, until you make these two aft cabins, you're gonna change your mind like 100 times to decide what you want to do exactly. Yeah. We have an L-shaped couch. Plus this extra little sofa on the side. This can be day berth as well. It can act as a day berth. Same time, it's an extra seating area for the main salon as well.
Yeah, and they won't be quite long enough, especially if there's kids on board. It'll be perfect for them to have day berths. So yeah, and there's not much really to this. The nice thing about this is that, especially behind the L shapes, there's going to be a lot of storage behind there and underneath it. So
underneath here, over here, you can put storage over here, top load storage. I just left, as you can see here, is one of the frames / open buckets that you currently have in the boat. So I just left rest open so you can actually place a huge window so you can have good lighting inside your
Cool.
inside the interior.
Yep, love it.
I think you told me you want to do something different here, not to have so much storage.
Yeah,
many
so
cabinets.
those two forward lockers, that's where my workbench is going to be. So that's going to be a counter. There'll be storage underneath it, probably a couple shelves above. But yeah, it's going to be like a real hard surface, like table with my vise and tools and everything, where we can do projects. Yeah.
Okay. Then moving on to the forward head. If I remember correctly, one of the videos you're supposed to do it differently. Like you
Yeah.
start by putting the shower outside.
Yeah. Initially, I put the shower where the toilet is in yours, but yours is better where the shower is. And then I'm going to put the toilet more on center line, so it's going to face aft. So like just move the toilet inboard from where it is now. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
so
it's pretty close.
it's gonna come somewhere here,
Yep.
facing up, facing the shower.
Yep, exactly.
The rest of it, it's gonna be a huge cabinet, I presume, with a small
Yep.
single side. That's perfect. We can work on that as well, and create renders of that as well.
And the door will be more aft.
This is gonna be your cabin, your owner's cabin.
Yep.
It's the one that you're gonna use. I think it's gonna be pretty comfortable. It's a master, like it's from one side to the other. You can have two huge windows in there.
Yep.
A lot of light.
Yep.
A lot of ventilation as well if you choose to. Presume you're gonna have at least one escape hatch on the main deck.
Yes.
At this point.
Yep. I think it'll be probably above the bed, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, depends where you are. You can keep it center line if you want to.
Yeah.
But it's completely up to you. Like you can put even 3 escape hatches up there for better ventilation, better light.
Yeah.
You can even do that. I mean, you have enough deck on top of this over here.
Yeah, totally. Huh.
So that's pretty much it. Yeah, you have your space in the front. There's just gonna be space, a storage space, and the active locker. Nothing more.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty simple up there. There's actually another bulkhead up forward, but yeah, it's going to be all wet storage. But yeah, it looks gorgeous. We love it. That design that Markos did was excellent. There are a few changes that will be made, but otherwise we're super happy with it. We're really curious to hear what you think about it, what you think is awesome, what you would change about it. We'd like to read the comments and get ideas from them, so we're anxious to hear what you think. Tell us what else you're working on.
Currently, I'm working with a business partner. We created a company we started researching, we started creating 2 very beautiful vessels, a catamaran specifically. They're going to be made from aluminum. And we're planning to make a production out of it. And we're planning to make the production in Greece. I don't think it's going to be just another catamaran. They have a specific target. They target a specific group on the market right now. They target on the performance side of the catamarans without compromising on the price.
Well, thank you again very, very much for all the work you've done for us so far.
Don't mention it. It was my pleasure. I love to work on boats. I love to work on designs. And I told you, the first time, this was a boat, Duracell. It was a boat that since I was a kid and I was started sailing, I had pictures of it.
We have a few more Patreons to thank this week. First, thank you to James and his wife who live in Portland, Oregon. They have a small boat that they sail around on the Columbia River, but they're getting ready they're going to start shopping for a new, bigger boat that they're going to cruise the Northwest on. Alaska to Sea of Cortez is what they're telling us, and so we're really looking forward to seeing what they come up with. And following along on their cruises. So thank you very much to James. Also thank you to Denny, who lives in Keyport, New Jersey. It looks like a really cute little town, very small town with 3 marinas and its own yacht club. Looks like a really nice place to drop the hook, so maybe one day we'll head out that direction. Thank you very much to Denny. And lastly, thank you to Ray and his son Danner. Ray has been in the composites, manufacturing, composites construction industry for a long time, but now him and his son Danner are working on turning a shed in their backyard into a cool little tiny house. Danner is actually keeping a YouTube channel called Abandoned Shed to Tiny House on YouTube, so we'll put the link here and check out their channel. It's pretty cool. So, and lastly, thank you to Carl. Thank you very much to everybody who's been supporting our project. We could not do this without you. If you are interested in joining our Patreon community, you can find us on the Duracell Project on patreon.com. Thank you again. See you next week.